One black dispensary owner in Colorado is shedding light on the racial inequities in the cannabis business. Wanda James is the founder and CEO of Simply Pure Dispensary in Denver, Colorado. She joins us now on BNC. Nice to have you here, Wanda. We got a lot to talk about. First of all,
We did.
the marijuana business, you being the first black woman, your black excellence, you're breaking grounds, you're making history. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with you. Start with how you were able to accomplish this.
So we were legally licensed in 2009, and I had just come off of Barack Obama's National Finance Committee. And I was also the campaign manager for Congressman Jared Polis, who is now Governor Jared Polis. So what we knew was that the Ogden memo was going to be coming out, which allowed the states to be able to legally have owners and sell and tax cannabis. We wanted to get involved to put a black face on it and talk about the issues that have been surrounding cannabis as far as mass incarceration, police harassment, and quite frankly, America's lust for slave labor. So since we have been legalized in this industry, we have been outspoken advocates to legalize and to make all of these issues with racial inequities go away.
So you knew back in 2009, is that right? 2009, they were working on this. I mean, it's 2021 now. That far back.
Yeah, so if you look at the very first interview we did in the Denver Post, which was on my birthday in 2009, we actually discussed the idea of why are black and brown people being arrested. And in Denver, 34% of the arrests for simple possession happen to be black, and we make up less than 8% of the population. So my brother was arrested as a teenager, and he was given ounces of cannabis, and he ended up picking cotton in Texas for 4 years to purchase his freedom. Let me say that one more time. A black kid was sentenced to 10 years for 4 ounces, which is about $160 worth of street weed. And he picked 100 pounds of cotton every day to purchase his freedom. This is the reason why we have been fighting for cannabis legalization and to end prohibition now for 11 years.
I cannot believe that. That's amazing what you're telling me,
Yeah.
that background.
I know.
So how did you even think that this would happen? I mean, weren't you taking a gamble that something that was considered so awful and such a criminal act, weren't you taking a big chance that here we are in the year 2021 and we're now just seeing more of an acceptance of it? How did you know, or were you taking a gamble on this?
So I grew up off and on in Colorado. My dad was military. I went to the University of Colorado. I then became a military officer and then on to corporate America. And with the exception for the 5 years that I was active duty in the military, cannabis has always been a part of my life. Here in Colorado, cannabis has been a lifestyle since, the University of Colorado was named a top 10 party college in 1962 by Playboy magazine. So the people I know that consume cannabis are lawyers, doctors, professors, teachers, moms, everybody. It was never an oddity. And so when I found out that my brother had been arrested for cannabis, quite frankly, I was shocked because I have never, up until that point, had never met anybody that had been arrested. But I lived in a very white society, right? White kids are not getting arrested on college campuses. When I found out that over 800,000 people a year, mostly black and brown boys between the ages of 17 and 24, were arrested for America's slave labor, I became incensed. And when I found out that my brother was 10 years a slave, we knew that we had to do something. And because of my political involvement, we were able to do so with a little less fear. When you've got 3 senators on speed dial, God knows how many Congress people, and the president's office, we felt relatively confident that we weren't going to go to jail for making a stance and for speaking out about this.
I can't even believe your story. It's amazing. So what does all this mean now? Is it too late for Black people to get in on this? Because at the end of the day, we do know that after all this criminal activity and criminalization, that white businesses and white business owners are now going to be profiting. They are profiting off of this. What about the Black community? Are they able now to get in, or is it too late at this point?
So it's not too late, but it's ridiculously difficult at this point, right? So when we opened up our first dispensary in 2009, it may have cost us in the ballpark of about $200,000. There were no regulations, there were no rules. Basically it was your first, last security deposit and whatever you were going to do to build out your dispensary and build out your grow facility. Now, if you want to get into the industry, it could cost you anywhere from $500,000 just to apply for a license, all the way up to, if you're going to purchase a dispensary, you'll spend anywhere from $2.5 million to $148 million, depending on how many dispensaries you're looking to purchase. So is it too late? No. Only 18 states have legalized, but we have to know, though, that white society or white cannabis community has grown to hedge fund-backed corporations now that are worth billions of dollars. And they are the ones that are continually winning these licenses in cities and municipalities and states that are opening up to the cannabis community. Effectively, we have lost first movers advantage. However, if you can put together a team, and you have financing and understanding of running a business and marketing and sales and HR, I'm hoping that through social equity, we'll see many more owners of color in the cannabis space.
Well, we certainly wish you a lot of luck. Thank you so much for telling us the real story behind all of this. We appreciate it. Wanda James, founder and CEO of Simply Pure Dispensary. We appreciate your time. Come back and see us here on BNC.
Thank you so much.